Hello. So today I'm going to be talking about the Pike Steakhouse and Pub. Um, just some quick background on it. The Pike Steakhouse and Pub was established in May of 2023. It's located in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It's owned by locals Lamont and Kristen Krakow. Just for some food options, they offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, hopping right into my SWOT analysis, I noticed that the Pike is, in my opinion, riddled with both internal and external weaknesses and threats as well. One of the big ones for me was poor side choices. I noticed looking at Google that there was a review mentioning that their mac and cheese seemed to be the Kraft mac and cheese microwavable kind. I also remember it mentioning something about their fries not being all that great, kind of being like cheap. Another issue for me is their menu options. I feel like if you were going to brand your company as a steakhouse, uh, you would offer more options for lunch and dinner. But in my opinion, it seemed their most expansive point on the menu. Like their largest point on the menu would be their breakfast options. And that's great. You want to have a lot of options for breakfast, but I feel like they're giving more love to breakfast than they are for lunch and dinner. And I feel like that's kind of grouping them with other local businesses, and it's not really helping set them apart. Another problem was their unorganized and, frankly, what seems to be their abandoned website. Whenever I went on it, it opens you up to an outdated newsletter. The buttons, in my opinion, are small. It's really not user friendly for iPhones. It's a little bit more user friendly for computers. But yeah, no, the website feels almost virtually abandoned. They haven't posted anything to their newsletter since Father's Day of last year. Um, another uh, Another issue that I kind of see. This might not be an issue for a lot of people, but it's a little bit of an issue for me, and it's the boring building. I actually have a picture here, down here on this slide. Uh, the building just kind of looks bland, and obviously this is out of their control, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be located in a really good place. It's a small building, or what seems to be a small building from this picture, um, on a big like tar lot almost. It looks like over here there's somebody's house or a warehouse of some kind. There's a warehouse over here, definitely. They have this small sign that, to me, from this perspective, looks like it's out of view of the street. So that kind of it looks like it would be pretty easy to miss almost. Another issue I foresee is that they are on Google. Whenever you look at a business, most food places will they have this little bar graph that shows you how busy it is and when. And I noticed that the Pike is a little bit. It's it's not it's less busy than it is more busy, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't seem like they get a lot of business most of the time. I think it was like 3 days where it's really like just not busy, and then like 2 days where it is really busy, and then you have your like in betweens. um and then finally is their abandoned social media accounts. At the time, their Facebook didn't really seem all that well sought out. It started strong in the beginning, and then it seemed to me that they kind of just laid it off and started like kind of just posting random images with some minor tags. Their Instagram has been completely abandoned, in the sense that their one post was from May 2nd of last year saying, hey, we're opening tomorrow at 7 a.m. Come by and see us, and that's pretty much it. But on the plus side, there are some good things about the business. They do, in the reviews, I did notice constantly talking about how friendly the wait staff is. Another nice thing is that it's locally owned and operated. We love our local businesses; they're great. Most local businesses are actually hidden gems, in my opinion, which is really nice. They also have some extremely good hours here. They are open from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., which leaves a 5-hour margin in which they are closed. Um, I'm assuming, probably about an hour of that gets allotted to cleaning and possibly set up for opening at 7 a.m. So, in terms of the customer, there's a good bit of leeway for whenever you can stop by. And then another good thing is that, from what I did see on Facebook, they seem to be doing constant specials of some sort. There's always a new soup, or there's always some new special to commemorate this holiday or this event going on, which is really nice. And then finally, just overall, they're pretty well reviewed from what I saw, which is a really good look for a business. If I'm going on Google and I'm seeing a business that's poorly reviewed, I'm more likely to stray away from it. But whenever I see something that's well reviewed, like the Pike is, I'm more likely to kind of stop by, check it out. So some goals here, just as the for the business. I wish there would be a little bit more engagement on social media, specifically Instagram and Twitter. They actually don't have a Twitter. I feel like Twitter would be very important because a lot of people, a lot of my generation, at least that I know of, uses Twitter. I feel like they're missing out on a whole audience right there without having it. And then their Instagram, like I previously stated, only has the one post. There really hasn't been any activity from them since. The Instagram is relatively unfollowed compared to their Facebook. Their Facebook has, I think, 1.2K followers. Their Instagram maybe 100. So it's very it's just not paid attention to. It's not cared for in a sense. I also wish they would be a little bit easier to contact via email. I tried reaching out to try and see if I could get some information on their company regarding the amount of employees and their goals and ambitions, and what their biggest struggles were. And they just never got back to me. And then finally, I just wish they would have more specials and incentives for the community rather than for specific holidays. Like they have a lot of Father's Day, Mother's Day stuff, which is great. But I wish there would be more things for the community. Maybe centered around a local school's football team, similar to how McDonald's has that promotion with the Altoona Curve. The strikeout guy, the Big Mac, the whole thing. I feel like that would kind of help them be a little bit more in the spotlight locally if they were able to find some kind of partnership there. So our objectives here, we're looking for a reputational objectives, and what a reputational objective does is it's not just for putting the company in a good position as a go-to place for the locals and tourists, but it's also just about cementing the Pike as a integral part of the community itself. And tactics for this could be some community events, sponsoring local sports teams, showcasing some customer testimonials / reviews, and just engaging with the local media, and just to engaging with the local media to share stories of the restaurant's involvement with the community. I feel like that would help push it out a bit. I also wish they would, more motivational objective here would be some things like rewards programs. And what that would do is it would reward regulars, with discounts and freebies and just some fun little things here, similar to kind of what Sheets does with their Sheets card, but obviously not a physical card that costs a lot of money, but in some manner or respect, a rewards program would be absolutely great. Additionally, some theme nights and special events. What these would do is they would create excitement and just promote engagement with some new customers, which is really good. And then also finally just showcasing some of their signature dishes. Sharing these will promote more people to come and visit and try them out. I know I personally, whenever I see a company on Instagram and they're posting, or a restaurant on Instagram and they're posting about their signature dish or come try this, this thing. If it looks good, I'm incentivized to go and try it, and most times I actually do, and it's led to some pretty good experiences. Moving into our theories, I'm looking to propose a two-step flow theory here, and what the two-step flow theory is it proposes that information flows from mass media to opinion leaders, who then spread it to a broader audience. And opinion leaders are, just exceptionally knowledgeable or influential in certain areas, and are, just trusted sources of information within their social circles. So this theory, what it does is it basically suggests that rather than being directly influenced by mass media, people are more likely to be influenced by the leaders, by the opinion leaders, and by the by the opinions and interpretations of their opinion leaders. I'm sorry. So what it would entail is, just looking for a food influencer or some other opinion leader in the area that is well known, and trying to almost form a partnership with them. And ways of doing that would be like, a complimentary meal, tasting events, or just you know we'll help push your message if you help push ours. You know, giving give and get type of deal. Um, so what that would do is that would also help promote word of mouth marketing, and word of mouth marketing is extremely good because if you get if you get important people saying good things about your business, it's almost certainly going to help you out. I know there's a tech YouTuber, his name is Marcus Brownlee, and the whole thing about him now is like this man has the power to either really boost or just absolutely destroy a brand based on one review. And obviously that's ideally what we would look to move forward to, is getting like a Marcus Brownlee of food, but hopefully not destroy the company. um, I also would like to implement the diffusions of innovations theory, and the diffusions of innovations theory emphasizes the importance of understanding the factors that influence the adoption process, um, such as perceived benefits of innovation, social norms, and communication channels. For example, the adoption of electric cars has been influenced by environmental concerns, government incentives, and the availability of charging infrastructure. So what it does is, introducing innovative offerings and practices can help set the Pike apart from the competitors and draw the attention of early adopters in their target market. These would be things like a more unique menu, which would incorporate locally sourced ingredients into said menu, or a sustainability program to reduce waste and the carbon footprint of the Pike. Um, and then some strategically communicating the benefits of these things on social media, email newsletters, and just some in-store promotions can also attract early adopters who are looking to try a new dining experience, and then their experience can then be shared with others, allowing for a sort of ripple effect to take place, leading to a wider adoption of the business and an increase of patrons in the restaurant, which would be exceptionally good. So moving forward to our communication audit, their Facebook, we're going to start there. Well managed. It's pretty well known. Like I said, it has 1.2 thousand followers. However, it is kind of clogged with photos. So they also have a non-Instagram or non-active Instagram, and ways to improve the non-active Instagram would be to their Facebook's clogged with photos, so they can take most of those photos and kind of shoot them to their Instagram, promote their Instagram on their Facebook, and just kind of really push the Instagram a little bit more, and then use the Instagram in addition to the Facebook to promote new and returning items, and then also just to promote different specials. Their website, unfortunately, is severely outdated. I have here a screenshot of their expired security certificate for the website, which is not a big deal whenever you're looking at it on a computer. On a computer, it just shows up with like a tiny bubble up in the search bar. Doesn't really impede. But on mobile phones, on mobile, however, at least in the Safari browser, it actually takes up the whole page, and it's like, this site isn't safe. Your connection's not secure. Obviously, it says here that you should not enter any sensitive information on the site. Passwords, credit cards, etc. The Pike's website has no way to take your credit card in a sense. That there's no ordering option on the website, which is not necessarily a great thing, but it's also not a great thing that their security certificate is expired. So maybe it's better that they don't have that kind of stuff. Obviously, like this isn't such like a it's not like a really big deal. It's more of just like a personal thing for me. Like it kind of bothers me, your website's not secure. It kind of just looks a little sloppy sometimes. Um, and then finally, the website in and of itself is just, in my opinion, not really a user friendly experience all around. Uh, Whenever you first open up the website, it brings you to their outdated newsletter. And then the menu and contact buttons are, super small. Uh, it looks great. It looks all right on computer. But again, if you bypass that security checkpoint on Safari, or on mobile in general, it does not fit that great. The buttons are super small, super hard to read. It's not really great for the more elderly audience or market, I guess, that would be looking into this. So what is the target audience here? So first off, locals. They're always a really good hit for small businesses, and tend to be what keeps them afloat, in my opinion. Additionally, with a good local reputation, they can begin to attract the attention of tourists and food critics, which can also bring a really good rep to the restaurant. A big thing at the restaurant that I work for is tourists. There are tons of people that have come from all over the country, and some people from even out of the country, who have come to try the food because they've heard about it from friends and family here in PA. And then they'll come to try it while they're in town. Additionally, another target audience should be our young people. I feel marketing to the younger generation is extremely important, because it can lead to, one, lasting customers, um, and two, especially since most young people are on social media these days, it allows for essentially free marketing, which would be really good. Not having to divert some costs to like a Facebook ad, super expensive newspaper ads, YouTube ads, this and that. It's kind of marketing that pays for itself, but it's free, so it's even better. So our key message here, really want to look to promote a friendly environment in the restaurant. Friendly environments are super important for small businesses because they encourage people to keep coming back. You really want people constantly coming back. Building a lasting connection with the customer is so important, to both growth and just maintaining the business. Word of mouth tops all other forms of marketing, in my opinion. So if you give people good things to talk about, it will inevitably encourage more people to come in. Good food is also important. It doesn't have to be fancy. We're not looking for some gourmet stuff here. We're not looking for Michelin stars. Sometimes people are in the mood for a reasonably priced, good home cooked meal. We're not looking at, this thing is now, this steak is now $100 cheaper because I put some gold flakes on it. Just a good home cooked meal. Uh, Really important to kind of stick to one setting. And I feel like for the Pike, it's going to be, I'm sorry again, home cooked meals. Um, it's also important, speaking of good food, it's also important to take care of all the food, by storing it safely, and effectively, so that it lasts a long time while still maintaining a really good taste. Um, and over time, I feel like this is good because it will actually help save money over time if they are storing their food properly, because then they aren't left with a bunch of waste. Waste throws you into the negative. This, storing it good, um, and reducing the cost, will overall lead to a larger margin of money earned versus money spent on the Pike, which leads me to my next point, is that, uh, you know, really good marketing, better marketing, good marketing is really important in today's age. And, with so much of the world on social media, it's important to utilize any platform possible to spread the word about your business, which takes me finally to our tactics here, our social media tactics. So everyone leaves reviews on restaurant. Well, not everybody. Most people will leave reviews on restaurant, and it's just important to one, not only look at the reviews, but two, to also interact with them. Reply back to it, whether it's good or positive or negative. I'm sorry. It looks extremely good for the business. It shows that they're making efforts to not only better themselves but also engage themselves with the community. As previously stated, social media utilization is super important in this generation. While doing a comb over of all their social media pages and forms of contact and this and that, I noticed that they do not have a Twitter account. So here I have an example of a post that could be made to their Twitter, if they created one. This would have been posted whenever they first opened. And it says here, we have officially opened. Stop by and show us this post for one free drink at the bar. So not only does this put them on Twitter, but this also encourages interaction with the post because you stop by, show them the post, you get a free drink. Who's going to turn down a freebie here? And obviously, this doesn't have to be the only thing. If they were to create one now, they could say something like, hello Twitter. Wow, this is our first tweet. Still trying to stick here with the promotion. Almost, I feel like Twitter would be almost their best method of getting the younger customers to come in. I know a lot of people in my generation use Twitter. I use Twitter. My brother uses Twitter a lot. But it's still, it's just important to use all forms of social media to increase the chances of engagement with both the older and the younger generations. Because even though me, my brother, and all my friends use Twitter, my grandparents don't. My grandparents are Facebook people. My mom is a Facebook person. My dad is a no social media person, which brings me to my final point here. Diverting more money into marketing campaigns. And what this would entail would be like flyers, renting out small billboards, and then just TV and newspaper advertisements, because that's also just so incredibly important to a business. You can't just rely on social media. I'm using my dad as an example. The man's never had social media in his entire life. He doesn't see the point of it. He's watched the local news at night, watch the news at night, read the newspaper. That's where he gets his news. That's where he gets all his information. And I'm sure there are plenty of more people in the world like that. Diverting more money into these marketing campaigns would allow them to reach, again, wider audiences. And it would also, it would include like just a simple advertisement in the local paper. Just talking about a new deal, offering like, some sort of coupon cutout almost. It would also just be a small billboard in or around Johnstown, just advertising the Pike, showing where it's located, maybe showing a picture of their New York strip steak on there, the whole 9 yards, getting people really thinking about it. Or just a television ad that, just showcases the restaurant as a whole, showcases the staff, shows off, the owners, what goes on. You talk to some people who've come and visited the Pike. And again, these are important because if you get a TV ad running or you just get constant newspapers running, this almost turns into passive marketing where hopefully the ads would pretty much pay for themselves here, which would be good. It'd be very good for the business, actually, if the ads would start paying for themselves, bringing in more people, bringing in more money, divert more money to marketing, blossom and grow. But yeah, that is going to do it for my presentation on the Pike Steakhouse and Pub in Johnstown.